Hey guys, it's your boy Aijalon Wallace. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're here with Valley, just because I struggle saying her name and I don't want you creeps to be getting in her DM as well. Today we're going to be talking about dating in Brazil. I just thought it would be wise and nice to interview someone from Brazil to talk about the dating culture here, to give some, people watching my channel some tips or advice before coming to Brazil. So I want to ask you a couple questions. All right, don't be nervous. Brazilians are, I guess, when it comes to dating, they're very affectionate people. And sometimes in America, we don't get that as much. So that can come off as, someone liking you. But here in Brazil, it's pretty normal to hug and kiss and greet people. Is that right? Or what are your thoughts on that?
Well, it's right. I don't know how to say this, how to explain, but we are really, for real affection.
Right.
But it's the way of the Brazilian to be, okay? Yeah. We are too friendly, so more than friendly, so okay.
Very friendly, very friendly. In America, we're not used to it because people are not affectionate. I remember once I went on a date, because most people know on my channel, I lived in Europe most of my life. So I went on a date and a person was sitting across the table and I didn't sit across the table. I went over to sit by that person and they moved from me. But I was just like, in America, it was like, oh, this guy's a creep. And it's like, no, overseas, people are just affectionate and we're used to holding hands, kissing on the cheek and hugging each other, which is pretty normal, I guess. Now, I talk about this a lot, but Brazilians love to kiss. And Brazilians love to kiss on the first date, but that does not mean that they want to have sex with you. Correct?
Yeah. Oh. Just if we want to have sex, we won't have sex.
Yeah, but kissing is just mostly common in the culture. It's pretty common here. They don't care about COVID. They don't care about dying.
We care.
They don't care about none of that.
I asked if you got the vaccine shot. It's okay.
Yeah, but it doesn't stop you from catching COVID. Yes,
need to know.
I got my third booster, but yes, it doesn't stop you at all. Now, talk to me about, I guess, your experience. You dated a few American men and you dated Brazilian men. And I guess, what's your preference? Or, is there a difference? Far as culture and the way they treat women?
There are a lot of differences.
Okay.
I don't know. I feel more, but with the foreigners, the Americans.
Yes, I'm American.
I feel that they treat me different. For really different.
For example?
Oh man. Well, my English is not that bad. It's not a good, but it's not really bad.
It's really good. Okay. But I guess for example, are Brazilian men chivalrous? Do they buy flowers, chocolates? Do they, open the door? Is it different? Some things are different from American man.
Yeah, and the difference, come on, I'm a Black woman, so a lot of experiences I didn't have yet. So receive flowers was the second time that I received flowers in my entire life was this guy.
Oh, for me?
Yeah, it's just Brazilian guys, they treat you better just because they want to fuck with you. It's like this.
Yeah. Okay.
They just give you things, just treat you better, like, oh, and they just want to fuck. When they get this, they start to treat her like,
They just want to have sex. But, yes.
Not all, but.
Okay. And I guess, there's a big stereotype around the world that Brazilian women are highly known for being easy to sleep with. But this is not true. I'm saying this because when I first got to Brazil, a lot of women just wanted to text for weeks. They want to really get to know you. They really want to talk. Yeah. And I was watching a lot of YouTube videos and people were just like, man, Brazilian women are really easy. And I think they were just talking about hookers. They wasn't talking about the women who are not, out here selling themselves for sex. But I guess, what are your thoughts on this stereotype and it's still pretty well known. It's still like a big stereotype that's not, in my opinion,
wrong,
very true.
And it's wrong. There are a lot of stereotypes about the Black woman in Brazil. So that we are easy, that we are just fuck, that we are, I don't know, but it's wrong. You don't know us.
Yeah.
So if you don't know us for real,
yeah,
you just have thoughts.
Yeah. So it's not I mean, just to say that, don't come over to Brazil with the expectations that, Brazilian women are easy. But I will say that Brazilian women, I do prefer dating Brazilian women compared to dating women in America. We don't argue that much. When we do argue, it's because she broke something. But we don't argue that much. But but also it's very I guess it's somewhat stress-free compared to America. I just feel like relationships often tend to have a lot of drama, which relationships do is pretty normal, but it's quite a lot more. I feel like here in Brazil, people are very open about therapy. And in America, we don't really talk about it sometimes because we are sadly ashamed of it. And we're ashamed to talk about mental health. We especially don't talk about it a lot in the Black community, especially Black men. Every Black man is Superman, macho, and there's nothing wrong with talking about mental health. But I feel like a lot of Brazilian women are very open about having a therapist, having mental health. From my experience, about when it comes to talking about therapy, and therapy is not a bad thing. It's actually healthy. It's actually good. But I felt like when I was dating in America, the point is, when I dated a lot of women who were going through therapy, they did not express it to me or let me know. So I just felt like I was left out, and there was a lot of things happening that was, not communicated the best, and which is why the relationship didn't work, from my experience dating in the US. I guess as well, I guess I'm just curious as well, like, I guess, what do Brazilians like marriage, or do they want to get married, or do they mostly want to have fun? And most importantly, because you're from Rio and we're currently in Sao Paulo, but dating is very different in Rio than it is in Sao Paulo, I believe. In regards to, I feel like Rio is more of a Miami. People want to go to the beach, they want to samba, they want to have a good time. And I feel like in Sao Paulo, it's a working culture. So beautiful people will meet each other, but work is a priority here first compared to Rio, where living life is a priority, if that makes sense.
I think that it depends, like, it's what people want in the moment. So if people want to be in a relationship, they get into it. So
yeah, you said it. If people want to be, it just depends on how they feel, pretty much. It depends on their emotions. But for the most part, but it's not a huge obligation to be in a committed relationship. It's not pressure. So that's what I'm trying to say. Often it's very, let's go with the flow, let's see where it goes. But it's not.
Yeah, it's more like this.
Yeah.
It's more like, see the way we're going, and see what happened, what will happen. Okay.
Yeah. And what do you feel, I guess when it comes to being creative, as far as dates here, like what is common here? Because in America, we go for a coffee, we go get a beer, but I feel like, I'm curious, like, what is dating like here? Like, if an American guy was to ask one to date, where should he take a woman? And should he, it's like, should he take her to a bar? Should he take her to a restaurant? Should he be creative and do like a picnic on the beach? Where should he go?
In my entire life, I only made one picnic.
Okay.
I didn't say, but I like creative dates.
Okay.
Yeah, but guys in Brazil don't think too much. They just let's go to anywhere.
Yeah.
Do something, and because they are only with the intention of after this we're going to have sex, so they don't care too much about where they taking us. So.
And have you ever been on a date before that was Magical.
I had Allah. Okay, I had Allah already.
but no, the reason, but I asked, I mean, like, I was told that in Brazil, it's very common. A lot of guys, they get a big bottle, Brazilian guys, they get a big bottle of beer, and maybe you go out and you drink the beer, or you go to a bar. I think that's typical. But often, because
Rio is a hot place. So
it is. It's very
beer,
hot.
I don't know. I don't drink beer.
But yeah, but Rio is also not. It doesn't have that many indoor activities compared to Sao Paulo. So if you are going to be creative, you're going to have to think of something outside, or potentially think of something at night, more or less. It's also, a lot of Brazilian women are not like Brazilian women don't go to your house on a first date, and that's something to mention as well. It was very different when I dated in the Dominican Republic. People were open to having dinner, but because the crime is so, I don't personally think the crime is high. I have not had any crime situations. She says it's dangerous. I don't think it's dangerous at all. We look at us, we're dressed to the nines and we're about to go out. I feel safe. But a lot of Brazilian women don't feel safe going to a person's house on a first date. And I guess but Brazilians are very spontaneous in a sense of some dates may start at 10, 11, 12 o'clock at night. It doesn't mean that you're gonna have sex, but I feel like, when it comes to times and things to do, there's a lot of, spontaneous, which is good, I guess. I guess it's really good. So I guess from your knowledge, I guess, how do Brazilian women view American man? Do they view us do some women look at us as a paycheck? Do some women look at us as just respectable, cultural difference? Or what are your thoughts on how Brazilian women view us?
For me, my experiences, I can't say for every girl in Brazil, but for me, it's more like you guys can treat us, can treat me. I think I just met 3 foreigners that I dated.
Yeah.
So they are now treat me very well, more than Brazilians. So I was like,
yeah, I
like this. So I start to go out with Brazilian who are closer. The treatment are closer than, but oh wow.
Yeah.
I won't find.
And how do, I guess, American men show interest to Brazilian women? Like, what are some things they can do to show that they're interested? Or, because a lot of American men, we have public affection, but public affection here in Brazil is
normal.
It's normal, but it's times 10. You'll be you'll see somebody tongue down somebody's throat at a children's bookstore. It's people they show affection everywhere. And they're not afraid to express. Yeah, it's pretty normal. And I guess, for American man, I guess sometimes, dating in America, we have a lot of limitations on when it comes to expressing ourselves, because we come from a culture in America where everything is, we're just more careful with everything, because everything sometimes can turn into a lawsuit or a case. But here in Brazil, it's very different. It's more so, hey, hug me when you want to hug me, touch me when you want to touch me, show me that you love me. And it's very different in America. It's very different in America. It's very different, and I guess it's hard for some, and maybe hard for sometimes for Americans to get used to it as well, because the affection is just like every day, all day. Have you ever noticed the difference, or from dating foreigners and Brazilian men?
There are, but I can't control the situation.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah. No, I know. I was just trying to, because I was just trying to, in America, because dating in America is it's a lot of boundaries, there's a lot of limitations, and there's a lot of rules.
But guys, you are in another country, so you need to be open
to adapting.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's the reason I feel like I can't control the situation and show how can be the day. So
and do Brazilian women like their man to be masculine, be in charge, or like making decisions, or do they like more partnerships? What are your thoughts? I'm just curious. I don't. This is you telling me.
Oh, it's more partnership. So.
Yeah. Okay. And do Brazilian women know how to cook? Do they know how to cook and clean without breaking any glasses? So in Brazil, a lot of Brazilian women live with their parents until what age? Usually 30, 35?
Depends.
It depends.
Depends.
But it's very common here.
Yeah.
And what was funny, it's really funny. When I first got to Rio, my friends were like, well, everybody lives with their parents, the guys and the women. I was like, well, so where do people have sex? And they were like, sex motels. And I was like, huh? And I just thought that they were just talking about a regular hotel. No, there's an actual sex motel that Brazil. I would never go to a sex motel. Never. Ugh, the sheets. Ugh. And the building's like 100 years old. And it's common. People still to this day go to the sex motels. It's so weird. I don't know if it's still like that in Sao Paulo, but yeah, it's very different. Now, fashion. You're a different person, but do women care about fashion in Rio? I know compared to Sao Paulo, because the fashion is different. It's a beach culture in Rio and it's a business culture here in Sao Paulo. But what are your thoughts when it comes to fashion for men? What are they into?
I think that guys don't care too much about.
Guys, of course, don't care. But women, you think Brazilian guys don't care? Or American?
A little of, and most of them are gay, so.
Okay. Oh, the ones that do care about fashion. Yeah. Okay. And how is it seen upon by Brazilian women? Do you think Brazilian women like a man that
dresses
well and is clean, groomed?
Yes.
Okay.
Definitely.
But it's not common to see often in Rio, you think?
I think Sao Paulo, because Sao Paulo is a cold place, so yeah. People used to dress better. So I think compare Sao Paulo and Rio. I think Sao Paulo people used to get more dressing. So.
And how do you know when you're dating a Brazilian woman or dating, as an American, how do you know things are getting serious? What's a sign of things getting serious? Like, how do you know? Because American men don't really know, sometimes we don't know when things are getting serious unless it's been said like, hey, we're in a relationship now. But in Brazil, it's kind of like, oh, you're at my mom's house, so this must be getting serious. But I guess because everything that in America, we have a first base, we have a second base, we have a third base. So we have a first base, the first date, and second base and third base. And we have all these steps. But in Brazil, you just go, you get everything at once. So we don't really know how things are progressing.
It, again, depends, because we are for real a fashion.
Yeah, very, very fashion.
So it's easy to fall in love.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So. Well,
it's easy to fall in love here. It is. Love, it is.
So if both of them are in love, so they can try.
Okay, that's good to hear. And I guess, is it if a guy sees a Brazilian woman that he likes in public, should he just go up to her, or is there anything he can do to increase his chances of asking her out on a date? Or do you think Brazilian women are very straightforward? If you see someone you like, you should just go up to them?
You see someone like where?
Okay, that's just hypothetical. You see someone like at a club.
At a club is easy.
It's
not
easy.
That easy. Easy.
Oh my
you
God.
have a chance. You already have the no. So go ask.
So you dance, you wink your way over there. Is she looking at you, or you gotta make eye contact?
Yeah, the first time eye contact works better.
Okay.
If they look for you and keep looking. It's a sign that you can go talk to her.
Talk to her, and what should they say? Like, you mean?
Well, hi.
Yep.
You don't say
hi. Okay, we got hi down. And then 2, what's next?
Come on, just come on, ask her name.
Hi.
Say, ask about the party.
Should we use the American card? Hi, my name is John, and I'm from the States.
No. Don't say
America.
that. Don't. You will scare or I don't know. But
yeah.
Don't be like that.
They don't like that.
Act normal. Say hi. You're enjoying the party. Come on.
Hi.
My name is
Chocolate. My name is Chocolate, and I saw you from across the room, and I thought that, I thought you were cute, So
maybe it can work. Maybe not.
And then you get that number. You usually get a WhatsApp number. So that's at a party. But what about just at the mall, at the shopping center? It's pretty normal. The thing about it is, what the point I'm trying to make is, Brazilian women do not get approached often by Brazilian men. I don't think so. So for a Brazilian woman to get approached, she almost will say yes, I feel like sometimes. And not to say that they're easy, but it's rare to see a lot of men approaching women and just saying, hey, you're beautiful, and I would like to take you out sometime. Can we exchange numbers? You know what I mean? Like, it's rare, right? Or what do you think? So. I see. So yeah, it's one of those things. So now, when I first came to Brazil, to Rio, I was body conscious. Everybody had ass and abs. Everybody was in shape. And it's a culture. It's like a religion. Like everybody, because Rio is a beach culture. But what do you think about the guys that are coming over that don't have 6-packs, that don't have the tight ass? What are your thoughts about those guys coming over? Do they still have a chance with a beautiful Brazilian woman if they don't have the ass and the abs? Do they have a chance or no?
It's for me, like my vision.
Well, yeah, your vision, but also your perspective, but also, what do you think the perspective are of Brazilian women as well?
Well, they like the guys that work hard. It's more than beauty, okay?
It's more than beauty.
Yeah.
But often the guys that work out a lot, the guys that are in the shape, aren't they usually more in love with themselves than they are with you?
I don't know if I don't hang out with this kind of guys because they just think about I think they are too selfish.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't they don't have too much in mind just to think about the body getting hard to get.
Yeah. So you don't think it matters as much? It just depends on the person.
Yeah, the personality is more important than the outside.
Okay. Do you have any questions for me or no? But I just wanted to talk to you guys about dating in Brazil, because I guess a lot of people always ask me about dating in Brazil. What's it like? Once again, Brazilian women are beautiful, but they're very traditional in a lot of ways. Most women are gonna be living with their parents. But Brazilian, another thing is funny though, because Brazilians fall in love so fast, people will move in with each other fast here in Brazil. You will see somebody dating for 6 months or a year, and they'll be moved in with each other the following year. Am I right or wrong? It's true. It's very common. And because it's like you're spending almost every day with that person. I don't know if you dated in Sao Paulo, but if people were to ask me, do I prefer dating in Rio or Sao Paulo? I think I prefer dating in Rio. And the reason I prefer dating in Rio is because people are more available, or they're more spontaneous. When did we in Rio we had a 5-night date? It was crazy, but it's a magical.
Not crazy.
It was magical, but just saying, in Rio, people were always available to do stuff, go to the movies, go to museums, go out. Here in Sao Paulo, people are always working. from my experience and from what I'm hearing from other people here. So I like that dating in Rio, because living life is a priority. So enjoying life more is a priority compared to Sao Paulo, where people are working a lot. So it's somewhat different, Dating can be very affordable here. We go to a lot of free stuff. We don't really spend a lot of money, maybe some nice restaurants, because she wants to go to these Brazilian places. I'm a little bougie. So we do eat out a little bit nicer, but you don't really have to break an arm and leg to spend money here. Any last words for people coming to Brazil?
I don't know. Just come in. You have fun. Treat us better because we're not easy.
See?
Don't treat us like a...
We don't want no scrubs, okay? Subscribe to the channel. Like the channel. Let me know what other content you want me to talk about. Thanks again.
Ice in my veins, I've been driving this